Recognizing and fostering young talent is something that IBM realizes is instrumental to one of our core values, innovation. And so we really appreciate the work that City and State does, and we thank you all for being here and recognizing these rising stars.
So I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. I certainly appreciate the level of leadership represented in this room, and we look forward to working with all of you in the future.
We're thrilled for your achievements, congratulations, and lots of good luck in your futures.
Welcome back to City and State TV. I'm Morgan Peckma here at City Hall Restaurant in Manhattan at City and State's 40 Under 40 reception. We're here with one of our spectacular rising stars. Anthony Thomas is the political director for the Central Labor Council. Anthony, congratulations. What does it mean to you to receive this recognition?
Well, I mean, I'm pleased that...
Don't be too excited.
I'm pleased that my work is a reflection of what the CLC does every day. Fundamentally, we try to work on behalf of all of our affiliates and very specifically make working people's lives a little easier every day. So I'm very pleased that my work is a reflection of the work that CLC does all the time.
And is it unusual for you to kind of be in the limelight, being that you're usually the person behind the scenes?
I prefer to live off the record, yes.
And so what's it like to be in the center of the labor world? Obviously, the Central Labor Council is such an important, influential organization. I mean, what's your perspective from where you stand?
That's a
deeply philosophical question.
But I would suggest that we're at an interesting time kind of in history, particularly in New York State and New York City. Fundamentally, we have 1 in 4 workers that are unionized, and that is a luxury that most people around the country don't have. So I think there's, in some ways, a lot of pressure to make gains here in New York that will lead the way for other constituencies, states, municipalities around the country. So there's some pressure to do well for members and working people. Beyond that, I think that we're also at a time philosophically where our country is taking a funny turn away from workers' rights, from collective bargaining, from really looking out for working people, the middle class in particular, and not the least of which are the low-income poor in our country. So I think we are in a curious place that we're trying to navigate. We look forward to working with a lot of the new electeds, the new city council, and certainly our state public officials to move good legislation across New York State and New York City to help working people.
And so for someone who would want to get involved in your line of work, I mean, being a political director, that's kind of a nebulous title. I mean, what would be your advice for someone who wants to get involved in the type of work that you do?
Civic engagement. I think you can't have quality politics unless you're able to talk about the things that move people's communities every day. Fundamental problems affect working people and non-working people. People need streetlights. We need buses that work. We need books in the schools. We need good teachers. We need hospitals that provide quality service to residents in case of emergency, and we need everyday public services. Civic engagement is something that labor unions do all the time, but it's not connected very often in the public to their public profile. So I think people who want to do politics should be very good at civic engagement, working with communities, working with neighborhoods that are not necessarily reflective of what they're used to seeing every day, because fundamentally people in New York, people around the country are tied together by very basic, small, incremental things. Civic engagement is the key to doing quality politics, in my opinion.
Anthony Thomas, congratulations on being one of our rising stars. Very well deserved honor. Best of luck to you and enjoy the evening.
Appreciate it.